eco-friendly company cars or mileage. Let's assume for now you've disregarded getting a gas guzzling car, like V8s, V12s, lovely as they are. You decide to move on and go eco-friendly. You've now got to consider the implications of whether you put this through the company as a cost or whether you just claim the mileage. What a lot of clients are typically doing that we're finding is they're just leasing the cars. It's a bit of tin. If you're putting it through the company, you don't probably want it as an asset, and ultimately they depreciate, so really it's not something you want to sat on the balance sheet. But let's look at how we can consider just basic terms here of what the implications or difference could be. So, I don't know, let's choose a standard kind of Tesla. If you were to go and lease a Tesla, you're probably looking at something in the order of about £500 a month, broadly speaking, again, plus or minus, plus VAT. So that would be the cost that goes through the company. This is your lease car. So that means you've got £6,000 a year that's going through the company accounts. Several things happen. You get corporation tax relief on that, which is about £1,190. You're not drawing funds out of the company, so you're not paying any further taxation on it. The other thing to consider is you'll have your insurance, which could be a certain amount of money. You'll have the running costs. Again, they go through the business as a cost. And there's no other implications. And as it's eco-friendly, you can claim up to 50% of the VAT back as well. So it's a great way of reducing your tax liability through the business, not having to draw potentially £50,000 out in order to go and buy the car as an individual, because it's just a cost through the company. So that's kind of looking at the eco car as a lease payment. Now we've got to look at this and think, okay, well, what if I had the mileage as well? And really the test here or the comparison is how many miles you do for business. The more miles you do, I think the more you're pushing yourself maybe to owning this as an individual car. So let's just use standard mileage. So let's say you do 10,000 miles a year. You're allowed to claim 45p a mile at the moment, so that would allow you to claim £4,500 back as a cost, for the cost of the mileage. Now, it depends how you're doing this. Obviously, in my example here, if that were a private vehicle that you had leased as an individual, you're spending £6,000 from post-tax income. So bearing in mind here that if you're a higher rate taxpayer, that's probably cost you £10,000 in order to cover that cost, because you've got tax at source. But you're able to claim this £4,500 back as mileage. So I think what I'm really getting to here is we really need to assess whether you're doing a lot of miles and have a huge reclaim for mileage costs, or whether you think it's more appropriate to push all the costs through the company. Because the other thing here is you have PWD benefit in kind. A lot of you remember this if you had company cars in the past. If you had a gas guzzling car, it's 16, 18, 20% of the cost of the vehicle that you get taxed every year. Now, in my example, again, for personal tax, let's just say this was a £50,000 Tesla. The tax on that Tesla for you as an individual is 1% of the value of the vehicle. So you're talking about adding £500 onto your income for the year. So that's deemed further income. And depending on your tax rate, you'll pay 20 to 45% in tax on that £500. Now, for my money, I don't think if you're adding £500 in total tax or total income, you probably can't even cover your car insurance if you buy this as an individual. So I think, unless you're doing a huge amount of mileage, eco-friendly company car through the business makes a lot of sense.